Lance Reventlow is really an interesting figure in the history of American sports car racing. He came from a wealthy family, decided that he wanted to get into racing and develop his own cars, and he did. The first American Formula One car and the Scarab sports cars as well. Carroll and Lance raced against each other in a number of races in the 50s, and then they got to be friends, both being in the Southern California. It was an interesting relationship, and Lance really, I think, has a marquee role to play in the success of American sports car racing.
CSX 2032 is a very important car because of the fact that it binds together Shelby American and Lance Reventlow.
You know, back in the early 60s, it was an interesting time. You had Lance and Carroll who raced against each other in the 50s, and as Lance developed his Scarab cars and Carroll got out of racing, it was fortuitous for Lance to be shutting his shop down and Carroll looking for a new shop to develop his Cobra car in.
Without Lance Reventlow at his shop, there probably wouldn't be any Shelbys today. His whole shop that he had, Lance Reventlow, everything, equipment, employees, all of it was turned over to Carroll Shelby when they made their agreement. And this car was part of that agreement. Two of the most important people that came along was Phil Remington and Carroll Smith.
Those were two really talented folks that Carroll brought on board to the Shelby organization, and they were integral to the success of Shelby in the 1960s.
CSX 2032 was a car that was built for him. It had a lot of the comp options on it, and it was one of the most optioned Cobras at the time it was built. It was built originally with the 260, and it's got a 289 in it now. After this car gets sold to a new owner, that owner has an opportunity that no other collector car that I've ever known in my career that spans over 40 years has. And that's to have a doc drama done for this car. And the relationship between Carroll Shelby and Lance Reventlow. When that is done and produced and finished, and it's out there and people are watching it, this car will go through the roof, and there's no end to where it could go to.